and spiritual and political issues at some point in their lives did reach for more. They had to look past science to get there.
What they did was demonstrate absolute, certifiable, positive proof of the existence, believe it or not, of the human soul. Because you see, remote viewing can't work in the absence of a soul, because you simply don't physically go to any of these places when you're actually remote viewing. This is not something you have to believe in a New Age sense. It's a scientific, verifiable fact. The body is a machine, and we live within it. We are composite beings, two things merged together, a soul and a body. The original applications of the most modern form, the military form of remote viewing, the US Army form of remote viewing, were somewhat unfortunate, in the sense that they were used for assassination attempts, finding terrorists, bombing attacks, location of people to kill, things like that. In fact, at one time they were originally being designed for use in battlefield conditions. The trouble is, it took so long to do an accurate remote viewing session, you're talking a minimum of an hour, minimum, that by the time it was used in battlefield conditions to target mortars and things like that, you're dead. I used it to simply investigate the ET, UFO phenomena with that same level of accuracy that was used under battlefield conditions. It was accurate enough for the military to be able to say, we're going to put people on the field and risk their lives based on this type of information. It's also accurate enough to investigate the ET, the UFO phenomenon. We found out that the ETs knew all about our efforts, and in fact were very supportive of the use of remote viewing, scientific remote viewing, for gathering information about that. And you say, well, why should that occur? Why shouldn't they just land on the White House lawn, that proverbial statement? Because if they landed on the White House lawn, we would be kept in the daycare camp of the galaxy for who knows how long. It would reaffirm their physical nature, our physical nature. The big difference between us and the ETs is not on the level of gizmos. It's not on the level of physical technology. The big difference between us and them is on the level of consciousness. They, in general, know, experientially are aware, technologically are aware, with their gizmos and everything, are aware of their composite nature. Two things put together, a physical body and what I call a subspace self, or what other people call the soul, other people call the unconscious mind, but basically the essential being that lasts forever within all of us.
And Jose and I were both exploring the Mayan calendar and had studied the material that was available at that time by Tony Shearer, a Lakota, who had written a book called Lord of the Dawn, in which he talked about the cycle of the 9 52-year cycles that began the day Cortez landed on Good Friday in 1519 to begin the conquest of the Americas by the forces of Spain and the Vatican. And that began a 26-year countdown to the end of the galactic great cycle, the precession of the equinoxes, the Platonic year, a 26,000-year cycle clocked by the Mayans as 5,200-year cycles, and brings us to the end of this cycle of human biological history in 2013 AD. In 1986, Jose wrote the book The Mayan Factor, in which for the first time he described the laws of time as those laws are mathematically described by the Mayan calendrical system. And that event sparked off the harmonic convergence, which went way beyond Jose's expectations and became a global phenomena involving hundreds of thousands of people all over the globe in a synchronized ceremony based on Mayan timing systems. There is a natural flow pattern in the galaxy, which Jose and we call the law of time. And it has to do with the very regular cycles of a day, a 28-day lunar cycle, which is a moon. There happens to be 13